On another typical foggy fall morning, the Weyerhauser arrives in Springfield. It will then shove its train into the yard and distribute its cars for either storage or assembled into a train for the customers to be spotted. On this morning, the fog is completely burned away by the time that work is done, and we see the train leaving, rounding the curve onto the Mohawk Main. The industrial branch line goes northward from the Union Pacific Brooklyn subdivision. Approaching Main Street, the train is passing 843 track, a short spur for AMERIGAS. On the drawbar right now are 2 loaded center beams that were pulled from Swanson lumber, 2 covered hoppers with products for Kingsford, 2 empty center beams for Sundance lumber and Roseboro lumber, and 3 boxcars for International paper. Leaving the Mohawk Main and shoving out the Y towards International paper, the job's about to interchange these 3 cars. The International Paper Mill is currently undergoing a shutdown for cleanup and maintenance, so the cars will only be stored for now. There are no poles. One of the center beams here is ready to be pulled at Sundance, and one will be put in its place. We're looking south down the Mohawk Main from the vantage of Kingsford, where currently there are 4 cars out at the gate ready to be pulled. Unless the currently inactive Lehigh cement dealer starts shipping again, this is the farthest north customer on the branch. The hoppers here are shoved out to the gate by a plant-operated trackmobile. Though there are many tracks inside the plant, the only track number that matters to the crew is 850. Anything within the plant shows on that track for the crew's paperwork. The train is appearing on the south leg of the Y after servicing Sundance and International Paper. The crews must stop at Olympic Street before the gates will activate. A car making a right-hand turn oddly decided to stay on the main street, holding up traffic, waiting for the train instead of pulling up to the gate, rightfully infuriating the drivers behind him. Kingsford charcoal is an interesting industry out on this line, receiving 3 major commodities, 2 of which arrive by rail, 1 by truck, That would be the wood chips, which are compressed with the black powdery coal-like substance brought in by hopper cars. The two spur tracks just to the south of Kingsford have been out of service for quite some time. However, just recently, the lights were turned and gates removed. Kingsford is the second largest customer on the line. Kingsford's good about keeping a full spot. About 33 cars are typically inside the plant. They usually receive a switch about 2 or 3 times a week. Most of the cars interchanged are these covered hoppers. But Kingsford also receives tank cars of flammable liquids, which they infuse into the briquettes to make them burn better. In 2019, I still recall an unusual tank that I pulled from here. The pressure release valve hadn't been opened before the tank was being emptied, which really sucked. The switch is as simple as pulling the cars and putting the others just behind the gate. The trackmobile will do the rest. And that'll do it for this Weyerhaeuser edition. My next trip out to Springfield will focus on the chemical plants which produce the glue for particle board. Until then, happy Halloween!